This fellow blowing the shofar up in the air somewhere in Israel reminded me of a little anecdote. They say about this simpleton who's been asking God for a certain sum of money, and God has not been sending it to him. So one day he says, I know what, I'm coming to shul, there's so many people there, and that's where I'm praying. God has no time for me, there is a lot of bigger requests. So he had this idea. He went on top of a skyscraper, all the way on top, and he says, God, here I am all alone. Please pay attention to me. And this is what I need. So he was praying. But what is prayer all about? What is prayer? I'll tell you soon how different prayer is from tefillah. But first, let's thank Hashem and pray to Hashem for the safety of our soldiers, for the return of the hostages, and for the ultimate, Sheyibane Beis Hamikdash, the Beis Hamikdash should be rebuilt. So let's say together, Mizmor l'soid oril Adonai kol haaretz ivdos Adonai b'simcha b'elufanu b'nono Luka Adonai v'lim hu osanu v'lo anachnam v'tzom marisa b'yishor b'soid ha'chatzrois v'silo hoidu lebachu shemoi ki toiv Adonai l'olam chazda v'yador v'dor emunasoi. Let's give some tzedakah, charity. And as I mentioned yesterday about teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah, how their translation is incorrect. So we discussed yesterday, teshuvah does not mean repenting. Teshuvah means returning home, returning to oneself. Tefillah, which is usually translated as prayer. Now, what is the meaning of prayer? Supplication, petition. One entreats God to grant him his request. Then if everything is okay, if the person isn't lacking of anything, there's no need to pray. Tefillah, the Hebrew word which we know of tefillah, which is prayer, which translated as prayer, actually means union. Prayer which emphasizes, God, please fill my request. Tefillah stresses man's striving to achieve union with God. It's not about his needs. In fact, the Hebrew word tefillah comes from the verb palel, to judge. And it means lehit palel, to judge oneself, which is actually the time of prayer is exactly what we're supposed to do. Judge our relationship with Hashem. Where do we stand vis-a-vis God in our responsibilities? Where do we stand vis-a-vis God in our commitment that we made on Mount Sinai? I will listen. I will be part of you. Going through the daily order of events and see how they fit with this union of God. We start in the morning thinking what I'm going to do. We stop in the middle of the day to have a stop for station identification, as they used to say here on the radio stations, mincha. And then in the evening, Ma'ariv, once again, where am I up to with this, in this relationship? And in fact, Yaakov Avinu's ladder, which the fellow going up high reminded me of that too. The ladder that Yaakov Avinu dreamt of while being on Har HaMoriah, the mountaintop, the place of the Beis Hamikdash. And he sees the angels going up and down. Our sages tell us is the image of prayer. It's a moment of ascension, of us getting closer, making that step, wanting and trying, and actually getting closer to Hashem. After that, when the angel, so to say, has lifted himself close to God, then the angel comes back and affects our entire behavior. So this is what tefillah is. Prayer, when a person needs something, is a mitzvah for itself. Whenever we're in need, we have to ask God, please help me. That's an expression of our faith, that God could help me. But the prayer that we know of, tefillah, the daily shaches, mincha, and ma'ariv, that's of a totally different concept. It's not about my needs. It's about what I am needed for. And I'm needed here for is to get close to Hashem. By getting close to Hashem, God is responding. And indeed, I'm going to get you close to me. And the closest we can get to Hashem is through Moshiach in the Beis HaMikdash. And may this happen today.